I'm going to actually have Jefferson come up and help me in 1 second. Just want to talk a little bit about challenging others and what do you say. You know, because it's one thing that I realize is putting people in is easy. You know, like I said, last month we put almost 7,000 new people on the team. And so we know how to put folks in, right? I mean, after you put 100,000 people on this thing, you kind of know, all right, a certain amount of people are going to join every month. The question is when you get in, we don't want you just in. We want you in the money. How many of y'all want to be in the money? And I think the people that get in the money have a contact that kind of rolls off their tongue. They have something that they can say, you know, to an individual at the drop of a hat. For the last 4 years, I've been using the same contact. I'm going to have Jefferson come up and give you more of a, what, you know, obviously with him being the #1 enroller in the company, he's hot right now, so he's got a great, not just look, in production. But, and so for me, guys, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you what I said in the very beginning, and then I'm going to tie it into where I'm at today. Because when we started, we didn't have a Project 10. We didn't have a bowl of cereal that actually helps you lose weight. We only had a shake and a faded application. That was it. A faded application and a sip. Wasn't nobody on no magazine cover. Okay? No one had these big checks. There was only a couple of guys in the entire company that had these. They're like 2 or 3 guys. And so it was certainly not what you guys see today. And so when we would go out and challenge people... How many BMWs were at your first party? Let me count. Let's see. 1. Yeah, 1. How many people at the party? 300. Oh. Oh, you mean at my party? No. At the Jackson. Yeah. The first party I went to was March 18th. The day I signed up, it was 300 people there. And so for me, when I went, I called into work that night, and the guy that got me there, yeah, I called him. And I remember thinking, I just missed $400 going to this party tonight, and I just spent $500 that I didn't have. So I'm $900 in the hole. This better be good. They better have a lot of BMWs, and they better have some very, very successful people for me to meet. They promoted these guys, Nick Sarnicola, the guy on the video, and Mike Craig, and Kyle Passetti. I got a chance to meet all 3 of them in one night. So people say, well, how'd you go so fast? How'd you get a BMW in 12 days? How'd you make $5 grand your first month? How'd you go PD in your second month? Well, I was following the leader. I followed 3 guys that were hugely successful. I did exactly what he asked me to do. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't complain. I ran the play. Y'all heard Jefferson on Facebook, run the play. This is the play right here, guys. Challenging and challenge parties. There's 2 things we do. There's only a couple of things that actually cause money to flow. Y'all want to know what makes money? Yeah. Doing this? This is what makes money. You getting out and simply challenging people. Whether it be through social media, through folks in your phone. You may pick up your telephone. For me, I started with my cell phone. I wrote a list of 200 people down. Now, let me give you one thing on your list. As good as this device is, and as tech, you know, as savvy as it is, it's great, but I would rather you take a blank piece of paper, go through your cell phone, and write them physically down. There's something about when you write them down, you would probably have twice as many names come to mind if you took the time 20 minutes to write down a good quality list, okay? The second thing you got to have is something, once you make that list, is something to say, all right? You got to have something to say, and you got to have something to give, all right? Let me start with something to give. When you get started as a promoter, you get the one package that, you know, is obviously the most popular package to get started on is an executive promoter system. It's a $4.99 one-time investment. You saw it on the video. You get samples of Crunch, the cereal. You also get samples of Shake. If you're in business today, any kind of a business, a product business that, you know, promotes a particular product, and you do not have product, are you in business? Nope. No. So why would this be any different? If you start this company, okay, you would need product to go out and sample, to go out and you know, to flood your warm market with, right? And so when you get started, go ahead and get an executive promoter system so that you get samples of Shake and Crunch. Now that you're armed with product, now you got to go give it away. You don't just have product so you can have a bunch of it in your trunk and look real cool. Go get rid of that stuff, okay? I gave out to 5 different people today just on the way here samples of Crunch. But let me give you my contact when I started. My contact was this, very simple, one line. However I got into conversation with the person, and every conversation is different. Doesn't matter where I was at, didn't matter how I met the person, at some point in that conversation, I was going to bring it to this one line. And it's this. Have you heard of the challenge?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever heard of the challenge? Have you heard of the challenge? How do you want to say it? High, low, slow, fast? Have you heard of the challenge? I don't care. You can, you know what I mean? You can smile, you can not smile. It doesn't matter to me. Just get to that one line. And then, you know what I did at that point? I shut up. Because it's their turn to answer. Most people, 99.9% of them, would say what?
No.
No. What is it? Right? And so here's where, you know, I'm not going to even give you the contact that we used 4 years ago. I'm going to give you what I use today. Today I go, well, it's the #1 weight loss and fitness platform, the Project 10 Challenge. What we do is challenge individuals to lose weight 10 pounds at a time. When we drop 10 pounds, we donate 30 meals to a kid who is an at-risk kid. If I challenged you to lose 10 pounds with me, would you accept? And I said, guys, you know what they say at that point? Sure. They go, I mean, the guy in the garage, he was like, dude, are you kidding me? He's patting his stomach going, yeah, man, when do I get started? Right, Benji? He asked for, like, he says, give me as much of that as you can. Right? And so,
Can you say that one more time?
Have you heard of the challenge? How do you get to that? It's usually a 30-second, it's called making a friend in 30 seconds. It's a skill, it's something that you develop. It's not something you're born with. Some people are socialites. They just grew up that way and they've been outgoing, you know, and they've just been that person that's always been easy to engage others in conversation. If you are that guy, you can get rich quick here. Okay? If you're not, if you're a little bit more reserved, it's okay. No worries. Go at your own pace. We all go at our own pace here. Either way, you got to make that decision to get a little bit out of your comfort zone and find a way to get to that one line. Okay? Where were we? Let me give you current today. I'm in, what was the name of that place? Waffle House. We stopped at Waffle House and eat. Benji and I like to eat still. On the way, I'm sorry. We stopped there and the little waitress is helping us out. We ordered our food and, you know, and of course my brain is always thinking, have you heard of the challenge? You know, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. There's a bunch of people in there, you know, and these two guys actually walk in. Two guys walk in. They sit to the counter, but before they walk in, I see the one guy turn around and look at the car. He did. He took one double take at the car, and that's just like saying sick him to a dog. When he looked at that car twice, got him. I didn't get up, didn't say a word. I saw him look back at the car one time. I said, on the way out, I will say something to this guy. Right? So we eat. 20 minutes later, on the way out, I'm headed out to actually go get a sample for the waitress that was helping us. Because, Benji, you went to the restroom, wash your hands or something. When you left, I asked her, I said, hey, how's it going? How long you been working here? Whatever she said. It was 6 seconds later, I got right to it. Because we got to get to Atlanta, right? I ain't got time to be messing around with Waffle, right? So I just said, hey, hon, I got a question. Have you ever heard of the challenge? She goes, no, what is that? Well, it's the #1 weight loss and fitness challenge in the world. We challenge people to lose weight 10 pounds at a time. When we drop 10 pounds or gain 10 pounds of lean muscle, our company donates a 30-day supply of our product to a kid that's at risk. If I challenge you to gain, she's a little skinny, little cute little thing. I said, if I challenge you to gain 10 pounds with me, a lean muscle, would you accept the challenge? And I says, we got a vibe model division where you can actually be featured as a cover model. And she kind of perked out. She was like, really? Right? And so I catered it to her, right? And so she's like, yeah, sure. I go, great. We got a great tasting meal replacement product that is a cereal product that you got to try out. I'm going to go grab some out of my trunk. Notice what I said. You got to have something to say and then something to give. If I didn't have a product, where would her brain would have been at that point? She could have thought that it was some kind of meal plan that she had to go grocery shopping to prepare food and counting calories. No. I went to the trunk, right outside, came back in with a couple of little bags of Crunch samples. And I gave it to her. I turned it over and I said, look, here's the ingredients on the back, all natural product. You're going to love it. Rip it off on the side, pour it in your hand, crunch, right? And she was like, awesome, right? Well, these guys, on my way out, I look at them and I said, you like that car? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, what size wheels? We get past the wheels. I go, You won't believe it, it's my company car. And he goes, what company you work with? Glad you asked. I go out, I come back in, I got 3 different things of crunch and 3 little, matter of fact, help me out, one of y'all, please, in the back. Give me a sample of crunch. I want y'all to get a visual of this. And then the little brochure, the one that we use today. Thank you. Perfect. This is it. And then the challenge brochure, that one right there, Rob. Perfect. This is exactly what I gave to 5 people today. 5 people. 5 people. This is a sample of crunch. Is this not the coolest looking little bag of cereal you ever seen? Come on now. Y'all get excited with it. This is right here. This is so cool. And this little brochure right here. This right here. Now, one thing I want you to do when you start giving people brochures, make sure you know a little bit about brochure. Don't just hand it to them like this. You know what's going to happen? It's going to go home like that. It's going to be in the backseat of the car and they're never going to look at it. So when you give it to them, say, hey, here's the challenge. I pop that sucker open and I go, hey, there's 3 steps. Set your goal, you select a kit, boom, you enter to win. We give away $10,000 every single week. Here's some of the people that won $1,000. There's 7 different kits. There's a cereal right there, all the ingredients. And then I flip it on the back. I do this, guys, in less than 30 seconds. I don't spend a whole lot of time on this, right? Because my main thing is I want them to take this, try the product, and go check out my website. There's a 51-second video on my website. Sorry, I'm getting excited. Is that okay? I have a card made. I got these cards made. It's 20 bucks. 500 cards. I don't care who make your cards. I used to get all into that. I don't care where you go get the cards from. Just go get some cards. I don't care what you put on it, but make sure your website's on there and your cell phone number, right? Mine simply says challenge accepted, Project 10 on the back, Project 10 Kids, because it gives them a visual. Even if I don't have this stuff, I've got a card that says challenge accepted, right? I'm going to get Jefferson to elaborate on that in a second. Yes, ma'am. You sure you want that card? Oh, yes, you can. So I give them the card, go check out the video. That is it. The 2 guys, same deal. When I came back in, I said, hey, we challenge people to lose weight or gain 10 pounds at a time. When we do as adults, a kid is the recipient of a 30-day supply of this product right here. The guys go, really? That is really cool. He says, how long you been doing it? 15 seconds later, I was giving them that, going through the brochure. I pull my cell phone out and I go, look, Jimmy, why don't I take your number down and I'll text you. Now I just gave the boy my card with my website on it. He didn't say, no, I'm not going to give you my number. I said, why don't I text you my website again and my name, right? He goes, great. He gives me his number. Now this is what's cool. What time is it right now? 9:20. It's 9:23. I met Jimmy today at 10:11 a.m. Because when I took my phone out, I said, Jimmy, I'm going to shoot you a text. What's your number? He gives me his number. Boom, I call his number, and I hit end real fast. I don't even know if it went to his phone. So I put him in as Jimmy and Tony, Waffle House. Just now, at 8:09, my phone rings. Guess who it is? Jimmy and Tony, Waffle House. I go upstairs. Mike, you saw me. I went outside. Jimmy says, hey, man, I've been looking at your website. I tasted that cereal. It tastes great. I live in Mississippi. You said no one's doing that, promoting your program there. I go around the country as a trainer. I want to know what I need to do to get started. Jimmy, look, you text me before 10 o'clock. I'm going to show you how to get in for you. You can say, challenge accepted, buddy. Right? I said, I got to go talk to some folks. I'll be back. Right? But that's it, guys. Is that easy or what? Now, is it going to always work that way? Will they always call you 6 hours later? No. You know how many people don't call me? A lot. And they look at a $100,000 car. I got $350,000 in bonus checks in my back seat. I show them myself on the cover of a magazine. I show them all kind of stuff, lifestyle stuff. They still don't call you, right? But I'll tell you, it's not about that. It's about numbers. It's he who goes out and challenges the most people wins. If you challenge 5 people a day, there's a program we call this Rockstar Challenger. 5 a day, 150 people a month. There is no way if you gave 150 people a month a bowl of cereal that helps them lose weight, that tastes as good as this, with a brochure that explains the program, and a 51-second video that gave them a visual explaining the program, there is no way you wouldn't be a regional director in less than 30 days. Come on now, don't make me run around this house because I will. Seriously, guys. It hit me last night on my way home from the funeral home. I thought to myself, I own a cereal franchise. Guys, cereal is a $15 billion a year market. Did y'all know that? The number one best-selling cereal in the world is Honey Nut Cheerios. Y'all see the be all over television. Can you imagine if every bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios that was poured, you got a commission on? Come on now. Come take a picture. Guys, here's a product that Honey Nut Cheerios can't even touch. You can actually gain lean muscle and lose weight by eating this. And it's your product. You didn't have to have any startup capital to go develop the product. You don't have to manufacture it. You don't even have to ship it. All you got to do is get them to go look at a video, give them a small sample that costs you, what, $2? What does this cost? I have no idea. I don't even know. That's a good thing when you don't know how much stuff costs. But, right? Either way, you give them that, and that is it.
75 cents. Right now they're 99, so it's only 75 cents for that.
See that? Look at that.
Box of this. $99 for a box. Basically, this is that.
Right.
And it comes with your shake mix. If I shake, so it comes with a shake mix, and you got the cereal that you can give out to everybody. $100.
$100.
One promoter.
One promoter.
Pays for it.
What pays for it? One promoter pays for it. You make $100 on a promoter, pretty much, right? So what I want to do, guys, hopefully that helped. I want to bring up Jefferson because he's got a very smooth, y'all know Jay Green, he's so smooth. He got a real smooth way that he delivers the same message, guys. You don't have to jump around and be all animated like I am. I'm a little different. But you can be that person that, and I'm going to tell you, when I met Jefferson almost 3 years ago, I remember thinking to myself, he's a successful businessman in the Atlanta market. He's certainly opposite from me, which is so cool because, I think a lot of people think, well, I can't be like Kevin, all animated and run around, jumping out, saying, hey, challenge, if I challenge you, would you do it, right? Green ain't going to do that. He's just not going to do it. He's going to be a little bit more reserved and he's more of a plotter. Does that make sense? So I want y'all to hear from him so that you can see how he does it. And I'll tell you, in the last 6-8 months, he's been killing everybody in the company as a plotter. So y'all give it up for my man. No. Okay. See, he don't even need this stuff. I need props. My goodness.
Guys, that's the guy I signed up with 32 months ago. That's the guy who, I didn't know Kevin, right? This is going to surprise some of you. I didn't know him. I saw a friend of mine who lost 40 pounds on the challenge, and for 40 pounds, I took a challenge. And I walked in a bookstore 2 days later. If y'all know, you'll saw it on Facebook. I'm a big reader, right? In the bookstore 2 days later, I saw a magazine that said Body by Body Challenge on it, and I picked it up, and I started reading, and I was like, this is what my friend did. And I saw Kevin's story in there, and I went to Google and put in Kevin Merriweather by Sal's, up pops the Jacksonville number, and I called it Complete Stranger. Right? And we started talking. I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to be a customer at first. But Kevin said something to me. He said, I'm going to take time away from my wife and twin boys to help you get started in the Atlanta market. I just need you to go out and challenge people. And guys, I was in a situation I needed to make some extra money. And as I was telling this young lady right there, I just felt that if I knew I was going to listen to Kevin, right? And I just felt if I followed him, I would make $2,000 extra a month. And that's why I got started. For $2,000, it's $2,000 a month, life changing. It's absolutely life changing, right? And that's why I got started. But here's what I realized right away: we do 3 things. We challenge people, we make a shake, and we press play on a DVD, right? Now anyone can figure out how to make the shake, right? And anyone can play the DVD. So what's the skill set involved, right? Challenging. Does that make sense? And I believe with most people, there's 3 things that are going to separate me and you right now. Number 1 is time. Second is belief, and skill set in challenging. But let's say you came in at the same time Sandra did. Sandra's been in this business 30 days. Pat's been, 30 days. Well, what's the, they went out 22 days at the BMW, 11 days at the BMW. What's the difference then? If you all come in at the same time and haven't had the same results, what's the difference? Well, it might be your language. it might be what you're saying. Does that make sense right there? And so what I realized was, if I can learn how to verbalize this well so that everyone asks me what the challenge is, then I thought I would have some success. Because I was talking with Mr. Sykes, and he said it's a numbers game, and it is after you get the skill set. And I'll give you an example we all can relate to. Shaquille O'Neal, right? Shaquille O'Neal, if he was a 73% free throw shooter, would have been the #1 scorer in the history of the NBA. And I want you to think about that. The free throw line is the same at high school, college, and pro. It never changed. But he never took the time to learn how to do it the right way, and he was less than a 50% free throw shooter. Had he just been a 73% free throw shooter, he'd been the #1 scorer. So it's not just how many times you do it. Does that make sense? It's first you got to learn how to do it, and then it becomes a numbers game. Does that make sense? Oh, yeah. Because we don't want you just running outside, just challenging people, because
right.
you will just be wrong. I mean, 6 months from now, you're still going to be messing it up, right? But if you learn how to do it the right way, then it does become a numbers game to you. And so what my whole focus was when I challenged someone was to get them to ask me one question. And what do you think it was? What's the challenge? That was my whole goal. My goal when I challenged you was not for you to get started. My goal when I challenged you was not for you to be a customer or a promoter. My goal was for you to ask me what the challenge was. And so I started thinking of different ways to get people to do. And so things I always say, if you know someone really well, like really, really well, like I've known Pat for a really, really, really long time. I don't know if you know this, his nickname is Pookie, right? You don't know that, right? You gotta know Pat real well to know his nickname is Pookie, right? And I can walk into his house and I can go to his refrigerator without asking, so I can challenge Pat directly. You know, Pat, I challenge you to drop 10 pounds with me on a Project 10 challenge. You know, well, what if Pat was an overweight woman, but that I knew really, really well? And that person, Pat, said, well, are you calling me fat? You know what I'm going to say? Yeah. Yeah, I'm calling you fat. Come on, man, we've been talking about this forever. Right? Because we're good friends. Right? But if you don't know the person that well, I would not encourage you to challenge them directly because
right.
Right? Okay? So here's what I did. If I didn't know you, so the